At the time of the county's founding, in 1773, Western Pennsylvania was quite literally the frontier of the British Empire. The first outposts and settlements of that extent are seen today in our most revered sites: Fort Ligonier, Bushy Run, and Hannistown. For the next 100 years, industry was somewhat limited to whiskey distilling, forestry, and mostly farming. In 1880, between 40 and 60% of land in the county was involved in farming. Canals and railroads had also coursed their way through the county. Along these routes, villages and towns sprung up, largely becoming the places we know today. Raw materials and the transportation network necessary to move them placed the county on a growth trajectory on the backs of steel, aluminum, glass, and tin plate production. And by the end of the 20th century, our economy morphed from one based on raw resources and geography to one based on human resources, advanced technology, and connection to a global economy. At each era, our citizens, the frontiersman, the whiskey maker, the miners, the glass makers, all responded to challenges. From those challenges, they innovated the new economy, and new challenges face us now. Yesterday, we faced a geographic frontier. Today, we face a demographic frontier. Since 1990, our median age has increased from 37 to 45. In comparison, the nation's median age in 2010 was 37. The age groups that grew since 1990 were those between 45 and 64, and those older than 75. All others saw a significant change in the negative. Our population is also declining. Since 1980, we've lost close to 30,000 residents, and since 2010, we've lost close to 7,000. If these trends continue, many of our employers may face the tough choice of closing or leaving the county. Our response is to investigate, plan, and reimagine our Westmoreland. Part of that means asking citizens to think about our future. In total, over 4,000 residents, businesses, and organizations have been a part of the effort. 7 priority issues were identified, and those are refined to 7 core objectives. Each core objective works to answer our central question: how do we retain, develop, and attract a skilled and stable workforce that will sustain a healthy economy? The foundation of our community is family-sustaining employment. Filling the jobs we have and creating new ones requires a renewed focus on aligning our workforce, education, employers, and entrepreneurship. Too often, we forget to share our community and all its assets. We can and should do more to help old friends and new neighbors discover all that we have to offer. Over the past 4 decades, our towns have found it hard to compete, but there is a market need for what our towns have to offer. We can reposition our towns to be centers for enterprise, for living, and for genuine experiences. Our county is blessed with exquisite natural beauty in our rural lands, our open spaces, and parks. These assets are pull factors for future residents. Maintaining and enhancing them is key. More and more studies show the stark contrast between well-designed healthy places and poorly designed unhealthy places. And just like with our own health, building better now is easier and less costly than fixing later. Our economy and our daily lives are becoming ever more reliant on telecommunications. Whether it's Netflix or telemedicine, reliable and high-quality broadband will help our economy and our communities be more adaptive to change. Rideshare, car share, bike share, traditional transit, micro-transit, and autonomous vehicles all represent current and future choices in the market. Planning for those choices now will help reduce cost and congestion in the future. While these 7 core objectives are broad categories for action, they represent an integrated response to the central issue of an aging and declining workforce. This community belongs to all of us, whether you trace your heritage back to the very beginning of the county, or you're just settling into this key part of southwestern Pennsylvania. Your engagement in helping to make Westmoreland County a better place to live, work, and play is essential. We invite you to be a part of reimagining our Westmoreland.